Okay, so when you're thinking about branding a commercial space, what comes to mind? Probably how it looks, right? And of course, how much it costs. But there's this third really crucial factor that's completely changing the game: sustainability. So let's dive into that. Are your walls creating a landfill? I know, it sounds a little dramatic, doesn't it? But honestly, it's a question that facility managers and designers are having to answer right now. See, sustainability isn't just a buzzword anymore, it's become a core requirement. And because of that, the environmental impact of our interior spaces is really under the microscope. And guess what? Traditional wall graphics? They're a huge part of this story. All right, so before we can really appreciate the solution, we've got to get our hands dirty and break down a problem. And the problem, really, is the industry standard we all know: vinyl wall graphics. I mean, this stuff is everywhere, right? But what most of us don't see are the serious hidden environmental costs that come along with it. A lot of people think the only waste from a wall graphic is what happens at the very end, right? When you tear it down and throw it away. But with vinyl, that's just not the whole picture, not even close. It's more like a chain reaction. Waste gets created at every single step of the process, from the moment it's made to the day it's trashed. And when you actually look at what that waste is, wow, it really drives home the sheer volume of stuff we're talking about. I mean, think about it. Single-use liners that get tossed out on day one, all the offcuts and trim waste from every installation. And here's the kicker: brand new panels that go straight into the dumpster just because of a small measurement mistake. It all adds up, and it adds up to a massive, massive pile. So here's the real gut punch. Even if you want to do the right thing, you can't. The very nature of a vinyl wrap makes it almost impossible to recycle. See, once you glue together that PVC film, the adhesives, the inks, and then a laminate on top, you've basically created this Frankenstein material. It's a mixed bag that recycling systems just can't handle. They can't separate the parts, so the whole thing has to go to the landfill. Okay, so if vinyl is the big problem, what's the solution? Well, there's this really cool, innovative technology that's emerging, and it completely changes the entire equation. And the best part? It's not about making a better vinyl, it's about getting rid of it completely. So what is it? It's called direct-to-wall printing. And instead of adding layers and layers of material onto a wall, the real beauty of this tech is in what it takes away. You're using these incredible precision robots to apply ink right onto the surface. So poof, gone is the vinyl film, gone is the adhesive, gone is the backing paper and all those seams. The wall itself literally becomes the canvas. All right, let's do this. Let's put these two methods head to head in a direct comparison. We're going to see how they stack up on the stuff that really, truly matters in those high traffic, demanding places, like hospitals, universities, and big corporate offices. Okay, first up, materials and waste. And right away, the difference is just stark. On one hand, you've got vinyl, which is this whole complicated sandwich of plastics and papers, and pretty much all of it is designed to end up in a landfill. On the other hand, you have direct printing. And what's the material there? It's just ink. That's it. Low VOC ink, which means fewer of those nasty chemicals in the air. The cut in solid waste is just absolutely massive. Now let's talk about the actual installation, because this is where it gets really interesting. The difference here has huge real-world consequences. I mean, think about a busy hospital. You absolutely cannot afford to shut down a whole corridor for days because of smelly adhesives and a slow, messy process. A quiet, clean, and super fast installation means you're not disrupting the critical work that needs to happen. And how fast are we talking? Well, get this. A typical full-size feature wall can be done in under 5 hours. 5 hours! That means a whole installation can happen overnight or over a weekend. That's a total game changer, and something you just can't do with a lot of the traditional methods. Okay, durability. This is a huge one for long-term sustainability. We've all seen it with vinyl, right? The weak points are always the seams and the edges. They start to lift, they bubble up, they collect grime, it's just inevitable. But with a seamless printed surface, well, there are no seams. It's just a more durable finish. And let's say it does get damaged, a little scuff or something, you can just spot repair that one area, instead of ripping down and replacing a whole giant panel. That durability directly translates to less waste over time. And now for the grand finale. What happens when you want to change it? Think about this for a second. With vinyl, removal can be a total nightmare. We're talking scraping, heat guns, chemical solvents that stink up the place, and then you probably have to patch and repair the drywall underneath. And after all that, you're left with a huge pile of plastic garbage. With direct printing, when it's time for an update, you just paint over it. That's it. A simple coat of paint and the old graphic is gone. No waste, no mess. So let's just lay it all out side by side. I mean, look at this. The difference is just undeniable. When you look at every single factor, material waste, installation time, durability, and what happens at the end of its life, direct-to-wall printing is just fundamentally more efficient and more sustainable. It's a clean sweep. There's no other way to put it. And this right here is the crucial point, the big picture. The real advantage isn't just about a single project. The real gains, both for the environment and for your operations, they compound over time. They build on each other over the entire life of the building, through every single update, every rebrand, every renovation you do down the line. This chart gives you a really clear visual of what that total impact looks like over time. That big bar for vinyl, that's all the accumulated waste from having to replace it again and again. It's the energy used to ship all those new panels. It's the impact of that messy, destructive removal process. It all adds up and creates this massive environmental footprint. And the smaller bar, that's the cleaner path of direct printing, which just avoids all of that. Okay, let's make this really concrete. Think about a hospital that needs to update its wayfinding signs. Instead of sticking on layers of signs and vinyl films that eventually peel and get grimy, they can print those directions right onto the walls. For them, this isn't just a theory. This means they can change critical information across entire wings overnight without any of those chemical smells bothering patients. It means fewer cracks and seams for germs and dirt to hide in. And it means less visual clutter in a place where being clear and calm is absolutely everything. So, after seeing all of that, the big question is, how do you make the right call for your next project? Let's wrap this up by breaking down a simple, actionable way to think about it. Here it is, a pretty clear checklist. If your big priorities are things like cutting down on material waste, if you absolutely need a fast, low-disruption installation in a space that's already occupied, if you need your brand to look perfect and consistent across multiple locations, even on different surfaces like brick or concrete, or if you know you'll be updating your graphics frequently and need that simple paint over option, well, if those are your goals, then direct-to-wall printing is a perfect match. It just aligns with both your operational needs and your sustainability targets. And really, it all comes down to this one question. This is the ultimate takeaway. We have to shift the conversation away from just the upfront price tag and start thinking about the true life cycle cost. That's a cost that isn't just measured in money, but also in downtime, in physical waste, and in the overall impact on our environment. Asking yourself, what is the true total cost of our walls? That's the question that's going to drive the future of sustainable commercial design.